Scientists warn there is a very real threat to Australia's river rid gums by rising levels of carbon dioxide. Australian National University researchers found under elevated levels of CO2, the species produces and stores lower amounts of essential oils in its leaves. And that's a concern because those oils are vital to protect the tree from predation. Caroline Winter reports.
They're Australia's most iconic and widespread tree species, but researchers say the river red gum is under serious threat.
It is definitely something to give us concern, and another point towards us having to do something to curb carbon emissions.
Dr. Carsten Kuhlheim is Senior Research Fellow at the Australian National University. He's co-authored a study which looks at how the native eucalypt responds to higher levels of carbon dioxide.
We found if the plants grow under elevated carbon dioxide, the amount of defense compounds to eucalyptus oil in the plants will be less. And that makes them more vulnerable to being eaten by herbivores such as insects and possums and koalas.
400 plants sampled from 40 locations across the mainland were grown in a greenhouse at the CSIRO, where environmental factors like light, temperature, humidity and levels of CO2 could be controlled. Carsten Kuhlheim again.
So we first grew the plants under ambient carbon dioxide, which is around 400 parts per million. And then we sampled these plants to check how much of the defense compounds are present in the leaves. Then we increased the carbon dioxide to 800 parts per million and waited a few weeks until the plants had continued growing and then sampled them again.
He says the higher levels of CO2 showed a decrease of around 15% of the defence chemicals in the leaves' essential oils, vital for protecting the trees from leaf-eating predators. Researchers also found that various species of gum trees have different types of eucalyptus oil, which allows them to defend themselves against different insects and mammals. Dr. Kuhlheim says this research is a start, but more is needed to evaluate the true effect of rising CO2 levels on both the trees and the wildlife.
We need to take this to the next level to really see if these plants, when grown under higher levels of carbon dioxide, would actually be eaten further. At the moment, this is a hypothesis. We just know these are defense compounds and there's a significantly lower amount of them present.
The ANU's Dr. Carsten Kuhlheim ending Caroline Winter's report. And next week, AM is hitting the road for a tour of the Murray-Darling Basin to find out what's happened with the promises to deliver more water for the environment and speak with farmers who are being forced to cut back their water use. I hope